Hey guys, welcome to the first tutorial of this course. Today we will learn some basic concepts of Kotlin. So let me first specify the topics we will learn today. So these are the topics we will learn today. So first we will learn the variables, the difference in val and var. Then we will learn the data types like strings, boolean, integer, etc. And then we will learn type inference in Kotlin. So what is type inference? We will learn that. Then we will learn control flows like if, else, when, and loop. In loop, we will learn about break. We will learn about continue. And in what I mean by range is we can see that we can also specify ranges in for loop. And yeah, and if the video won't be too long, we will also cover functions. We will also cover functions and the IDE I will be using for only for Kotlin, not for Android, is this IntelliJ IDEA. So you can also download it and try it. Also, you can use Android Studio. It's up to you. And for those who already knows Kotlin, they can skip the videos which which are started with uh, K1 title. K1 title. We can you can skip that. So let's get into it. Let me first So let's talk about first val. What is val? So if I declare a variable with val suppose name is Android. We also initialize this. We declared it here and we initialize this here. And if now I try to change this, let me show you what I mean. And if I try to give it another name like hello world or something like that, see there is an error which val can be reassigned. So once it is assigned, we can't reassign a variable which is declared by val. So we can do that. Now, if we do it with var, if we do it with var name equals Kotlin suppose, so we can change it. We can reassign it with another. So you can see that we are being able to reinitialize it, change it. But with val we can do that. हम ये नहीं कर सकते. तो हम अगर val से करें, suppose val age equals 23, then we try to modify this age with 20. We cannot do that. ये बोल रहा है कि error. So this is, so that's the difference in it. There is also difference and we will talk about it when we will talk about null safety. When we will talk about null safety, so this was about val and var. Yeah, so now let's talk about data types. Data types. So what are data types, right? So uh, the kind of data we are trying to store in a variable. So like we did before, we did this name equals Kotlin. We did this. So this is called string. We write in quotation mark. So this is called string, and we also did val age equal 22. This is int. This is a number, an integer, and yeah, this is an integer. Also, we can write decimal like 0 like this. So this will be a float. So now let me So val name is of type string. We can declare a variable like this with a data type like this. We will give the colon here, and then we will specify its data type like this. Now if I do name equals Java, then see we can only store string here like uh, a word or sentence. Now if I try to store some integer, it will give error that it data type mismatch. So now let's talk about the int type. If we do now file age equals not equals age is of type int. So if I do it now, and if I try to store a string here, a name here, see it is giving error like mismatch. We can only store 22 here, or a number. We cannot do this. We also cannot assign double here. Double means decimal value. We, we cannot do this. Uh, for double, there is also data type like this. Help, if I do help price is of type double. Now here we can store 100, suppose like this. Can store this. See, it is not giving error. If I try to store a whole number or natural number, it will give error like this type mismatch. Integer was double was expected, but I gave integer. So this was like this. Also, there is a there is a data type called long. Suppose duration. Duration is of type long. What is long? Long is an you can call an extended integer. Uh, there is some limit in bytes. Uh, you might have read that on operating system. So if we want to store long like this, these seconds, we can specify like L. We can give L here, or we can leave it like here. It will automatically know that it is long. It is in long. You can also do this. Now, suppose here we try to do this. Suppose age equals 23 long L. So see, if we give this L here, it is saying that actual type is long, but integer was expected, int was expected. So that was yeah. So and here also there is also a data type called boolean. So if we want to specify true false, if we want to store like true false, we can do this with data type uh, is suppose is expired, is or is good, is of type boolean. We can do this boolean. We can only store here true or false. Is good equals, sorry, equals true, and true only true or false. Suppose my course is not good, so we will store here false. If it is good, we will store here true. And if I try to do anything like uh, a number, it will give error as expected. And if a string, it will also give error. See here, yeah. So this was it for data type. Double, we can also give float fell. Suppose fell what is time, whatever it is of type float. Float is also a decimal value. Float is also a decimal value, but see here, it is saying that float was expected. So which float we have to specify as f, otherwise it will give error. It will say that you gave me a double, but I wanted float. So float is also, double is larger than float, and just like long is larger than int, this double thing is larger than float. So that was it. So that was it for data types. Let me see what is the next topic. All right, let's talk about type inference. What we mean by type inference. First, let me type inference. So we saw that earlier. Uh, we could write something like this, like file name equals like this. Kotlin, like this. So how if we do it with Java, like like this, name equals like this. We cannot do that. In Java, we would have to write string name equals, we have to write like this. So we have to specify the data type here. Only then we can initialize it or declare it in Java. So in Kotlin, this is not the thing. In Kotlin, it is intelligent. Like it knows that what data type we are assigning it here. Since we give it Kotlin here, so it knows that it is of type string. So if we make it var, and if we try to change it to suppose 23, so see here, assignment type mismatch, actual type is int but string was expected. How does it know that it's string? So it is smart enough to know without specifying like this. It knows that it is a string, so it automatically knows. So this is what we call type inference in Kotlin. If we hover over here, we can also see explicitly type is redundant here. So yeah, so it was like that. So now if now I want to declare a variable like this. Let's make it file. We want to declare a variable like this, but we want to assign it later. So then we have to specify the data type here. Otherwise, it won't be able to know what the data type is. Now, if I do name equals like this, so it knows that it is string. How does it know? We specify it here. So yeah, and if we make it var, then we can also change it later. Like first, I am giving a name of Java, then we can give it another name later, like Kotlin. So this is the sorry. So this is the yeah. So this is, so that was it. Now let's learn if else. Let's learn if else here. So suppose we assign a variable UI is of type string. We won't assign it here. We just declared a variable of type string. We did this. Later we will assign it based on a condition. So what is a condition? Uh, if we say something like this thing is true, this thing is true, or this thing is false, so that is a condition. So if else is used here. Let's show you what I mean. Suppose we declare or assigned a variable here called is Java. It is of type boolean. Since we will compare or check condition based on this variable, this should return boolean. So return means the type, data type. So let's see what I mean. If I do something like if is Java equals true, if I do equal, if only one equal, that means we are assigning some value in the variable. If we do double equal, then we are comparing this variable's value with this value. If this is true, then we will assign UI equals XML. This is throwing an error. We will get to that. So if is Java is true, if the language is true, then we write the UI with XML. We can also do it Kotlin, but in Kotlin, Jetpack Compose is preferred. And Google also recommends us to write UI in Jetpack Compose. Yeah. So if if this statement is false, we will we will say what to do if this statement is false. We will say it here, that do this thing if this statement is false. So if we do now, if this is not Java, is the language is not Java, we will assign here Jetpack Compose. Let's see now. Now let's assign is Java equals true, and then we will print, and then we will print the UI here. Print means that it prints something, it shows something in the console here. Let's see what I mean. If I run this thing now, if I run this function, it will return us XML. Let's see if we run this function now. See here, XML. We can see XML here. Why XML? Because it here we assigned true to Java, is Java variable. So it checked here. Let's see if this condition is true. If this condition is true, that it will execute this block. Otherwise, it will execute this block. Now, if we assign this as false and run it again, we can see Jetpack Compose here. Yeah, we can see Jetpack Compose here. Why? Because here we assigned false is Java. Then we're checking here if is Java is true. We're checking here if is Java's value is true. If this value is true, if then it would execute this block. Since it is not true, it is false. It skipped this block and came to this block and assigned Jetpack Compose here. And we can see here that UI is Jetpack Compose. And and there is also something called else if. There's also something called else if. Let me show you what we mean that. Else if basically does, if this condition is false, it else if will be executed if that is true. Let me show you. Suppose we want to check a number if it is positive or negative, or it is 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative. So अगर हम यहाँ पे if not if here, first we have to assign it there. We will fail. Suppose number is 20. Okay, let's see. We are not doing int here. Why? Because Kotlin is intelligent enough to know that since we assigned it integer here, so it is after integer. We learned it in type inference here. Now, suppose if we check if number is greater than 0. If number is greater than 0, this will be what? This number will be positive. So we will print here. We'll print what? Positive. You can print it like this. We'll print positive. Else if number is less than 0. If it is less than 0, we will do what? We will do negative. We will print negative and else. So we checked here for greater than, we checked here for less than, then what is left? Equal is left. So we can directly print here that number is 0. So let's see now. It should print positive. Yeah, see here, it printed positive. Now, if I make this minus 20, if I make this minus 20, then this will be skipped. This will be skipped. This block will be skipped, and this will be checked here. It won't go to else. It will not go to else. First, it will check this thing, this condition. It will check this condition. If this is false, only then it will go here. If this is true, if this condition is true, and it is true as you can see here minus 20, then it will execute this block, skipping this block and this block. Now if I run it, we should see negative here. Yeah, negative. It skipped this condition and checked it. Since it returned true, so it won't go to else block. Now if we give it 0, if we give it 0, then it will skip this. Since this is 0 and 0 is not greater than 0, 0 is also not less than 0, it will give this false. It will also return this false, and since these are false, these two conditions are false, then it will come directly to else. Now if we do this, uh, yeah, see, number is 0. Why 0? Because it is false, it is false, and it came directly to this. So this was else, if else, and else if, with like this. Right, let's talk about when. So when is when used? So when is used when we want to do something based on the variable's value. Let me show you what I mean. Suppose we want to assign teachers to different classes, different teachers to different classes. Let's say how will you do this? Suppose we declare fail class. We cannot do class here because class is a Java keyword. Class is a Kotlin or Java keyword. We cannot give a variable name as class. We will make it as standard std. Std is of type, suppose, int. Yeah, int. And fail teacher is of type string. We will assign teacher based on according to the standard. So now we will do it here. When standard std, it is giving an error because standard is not initialized yet. We will initialize it first, and let me show you. When this standard is 5, when it is 5, what we will do? We will do teacher equals, we will do suppose Amit. Yeah, suppose we will do Amit, and 6 for standard 6. Suppose teacher will be what? Ashish. Yeah, Ashish. Okay. And for we can also give blog here. I mean like this, curly brackets, or we can leave it as here. If this is a one line statement, only then we can write like this, even if I don't give this curly brackets. Now if the standard is 7, then we will assign teacher equals, suppose, someone like Luffy. Luffy, the character from One Piece. And if standard is 8, we will assign teacher, suppose Ryuzaki, like this, Ryuzaki. And yeah, I hope you got the gist of it. I give it, and we will print the teacher here, so that we can see the value of the teacher. We can print teacher here, Same thing we can do. We cannot write like this. We cannot write like this. We will have to write in curly bracket like this, or we could do this. Yeah. Okay. So, and here also. Yeah. Print teacher. Okay. So now let's initialize standard here. For standard equals 5. For standard 5, and we can also give an else block here. What will else do? It just do a print. Suppose like invalid class. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's run it. And for 5, we can see that this block of code will be executed. Teacher will be set to Amit, and will wait a second. Okay, as you can see, this is now Amit. If I make it 7, suppose I make it 7 and do this. See here, Luffy. Why Luffy? Because here, when it is 7, this will execute this block. So it will assign Luffy to teacher, and it will print it. And if I give something like 10, which is not inside when block, it will just print this thing, invalid class. See, invalid class, like this. So I hope you understood. Okay, now let's talk about the for loop. So in Kotlin, the syntax of for loop is a bit different. It is not in C style like Java has. Let's show you. Let's say for I in 0 dot 10. We do this. For I in 0 dot 10 means let me just so means it will include 0, and also it will include 10. It will include 0 and it will include 10. And let's print it. Print the I here. If we do this, then let's see what uh, we will get. So as you can see here, it printed from 0 to 10. So 0 is also included, 10 is also included here. So what if we want to do something like this? There is also a keyword called until. So in until, 0 will be included, but 10 will be excluded. So if I run it again now, what it will print? It will print from 0 to 9. As you can see here, it printed from 0 to 9. So yeah, we can write for loop either like this or like that. Now we will see break keyword, and then we will see the continue keyword. We will see these two. Now let's talk about break. What break does is it stops the loop immediately. If I write break here, it just don't care. It don't care whatever the range is. it will print 1, then it will come out of the loop directly. We can see here, it printed 0 because 0 is included. It printed 0, and it just came out of the loop. It doesn't care about anything, it just print out of the loop. So how can we make use of break? Suppose let's see we want to break the loop if from 0 to 10, if the numbers are let me just show you. If I becomes 5, if I becomes 5, we want to break out of this loop. So if I becomes 5, we want to break out of this loop, and we just don't care about the later value 6, 7 or 8. It just even if the for loop is set to be run from 0 to 10, it will just whenever it hits 5, it will just come out of the loop. So let me show you. Okay, it won't print anything because I did not print anything here. Let's just okay, print I here. We'll print I here. So let's see. Yeah, as you can see, it printed 0, 0, 1, then 2, then 3, 3, 4, printed 4. Then it also printed 5 because it printed 5 because this print ln I is above this block of code. So it printed 5, then it checked here if I is equals to 5. Since it is 5, it just broke out of the loop like this. Now let's talk about continue. It won't stop the loop. It skips the rest of the current iteration and jumps to the next one. Let me just show you. If I do continue here, and I print it here, I printed it here, so it won't print 5 now. It will not print 5. It skips the 5 and jumps to the next iteration. It skips the 5 and jumps to the next iteration. Let me just show you. Here, as you can see, it printed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when it is 5, when I is 5, it will not print it because print is written here. So it will skip this. It will skip this, and then it will continue from its next iteration. As you can see here, 5 is not here, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this was the use of break and continue. I hope you understood. So yeah, that was it. Let's talk about the while loop. While loop. While means जब तक ये true है, जब तक ये true है तब तक ये चलेगा. So let me just show you. And by the way, I am doing in Hindi also and English. So yeah, in a mixed language. So let's get back to it. So fell, yeah, fell is, suppose we give 23. Now while while age is greater than 10, while age is greater than 10, we will just do print age, and it is saying that always true. It is saying always true. Let me just show you what I mean. and it will just keep printing. Even if I do is plus plus, what is it? Okay, this need to be changed to fire because fire can only be reassigned. Now if I run it, see here, it is just going. It is just going because why? Age is 23. We said here, age, if age is greater than 10, just keep going. So since age is greater than 10, while this condition is true, this condition is always true. Since this condition is always true, this just won't stop. This will not stop. So now let me just show you. It will just give stack overflow error at some point. So let me just show you. Okay. So while now less than 10, it is saying that it is also false. Now if I do this, okay, not less than, if I do this, if I run it now, as you can see here, it first printed 23, okay, it printed 23, it then printed 22 because we set age to be minus minus means age equals age minus 1. We get the age value and we set age to age minus 1. So whatever the previous value was, minus 1 will be subtracted. Whatever the previous value was, minus 1 will be subtracted from there, and that value will be reassigned to this variable age. So in short, we can write like this: age minus minus means age equals age minus 1. So age is 22, sorry 23. It checked it and it found that age is greater than 10. So it printed it and reduced 1. So 22, 21, it just kept printing it until it became 10. तो जब तक ये 10 नहीं होता तब तक ये चलता रहेगा, जब तक ये false नहीं हो जाता, ये जब तक ये false नहीं हो जाता तब तक ये चलता रहेगा. It will keep executing. So now here we got 11 at last. Why? Because this became 11 at last. It checked here that is 11 is greater than 10. Yes, 11 is greater than 10. It executed it. Then it reduced 1. Then it became 10. Then it checked if 10 is greater than 10. So 10 is not greater than 10. So it will come out of this while loop and stop the program. So it was all about while loop. Now let me tell you about string concatenation. I did not tell you there. Suppose we have a string here, hell name equals suppose Naruto. So we have a name here, Naruto, and what we will do, we want to say like this, and this is a comment. We write comment like this here. So we want to say hello Naruto, how are you? We want to say this. How can we say this? And let me tell you just. Suppose we want to store it. We want to store this whole string in another string, in another variable of type string. So file, we will say greeting equals, we will say hello, then we will give it a dollar sign, then the variable name, then it will say hello, and whatever value the name has, it will do this, and how are you, like this. Now if we print the greeting here, now we'll print the greeting, we can see that it will print exactly this. Say hello Naruto, how are you doing? So if we want to give uh, if we want to concatenate the strings, concatenate like जोड़ देना यहाँ पे, हाँ. So if now we change, if we change the name to suppose Luffy, then it will say hello Luffy, how are you? Here, without changing the name here, we can do like this. So this was how we write string. Okay, so okay guys, so this is it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. And I really hope that I could make you understand these concepts, and the real fun will begin when we will do actual app development. So I am very excited for that. So see you in the next video.